Hello, today we are going to spend some time on addressing some of the questions that we may have in mind. Over a period of so many days, I have been asking you to have a plant-based diet, but a lot of you may have certain questions regarding protein or any other nutritional deficiencies. You may want to know that if we switch to a plant-based diet, will we not be deficient in protein? Does a vegetarian diet give you enough or adequate amount of protein to fulfill active lifestyle requirements? Let's answer each of these questions one by one. We will look at protein. We will also look at certain nutritional deficiencies. Let's begin. Now, if somebody has a very active lifestyle, say supposing they are athletes or they are very active as a part of the work that they do, so protein definitely becomes a very important requirement. Protein is the building block of your body. Not only does it repair and do the wear and tear of your muscles, it also is necessary for rebuilding even your cells. But for protein, do we always have to consume meat? Probably not. A lot of us consume protein through meat, or you prefer to consume protein through protein powders. But let's understand what are the natural sources of protein that we can readily, abundantly get in our environment. Did you know that when you sprout, whether it is your moong or whether it is your matki, which is also called moat, or whether it is your chickpeas, which is called chole, or even masoor, which is your dal. Now, any of these, when sprouted, start having life into it. And that is, of course, very essential for building the life force into your body. But at the same time, it fulfills your protein requirement abundantly. So instead of consuming your dals just like that, you soak them, sprout them, and then consume it, you will get ample protein. You may not really require any meat product or a protein powder from outside. Daily, consume at least some form of sprouts. The other way in which you can get protein is through your soaked nuts. So whether it is your almonds, whether it is your walnuts, whether it is your cashews, whether it is your peanuts, all of these can be soaked and then consumed, and the life in it definitely enhances. The protein is definitely rich in all of these sources. You can also have protein through your dals. So whether it is your arhar ka dal, your tur dal, or whether it is your gram flour, or whether it is moong dal or any other form of dal, these dals do have a considerable amount of protein into it. However, it is essential that we just do not take dry dals and put it in the cooker. If you want maximum nutrition out of it, it is nice to first soak them for a couple of hours and then cook them. Let's look at certain seeds now. Your chia seeds have protein. Your melon seeds have protein. Your sunflower seeds have protein. Even quinoa has protein. Let's look at certain vegetables now. Spinach has protein. Broccoli has protein. Green peas also has protein. So when you have so much of protein abundantly in your plant-based sources, why look outside? Now, some of you may not always have an active lifestyle. Don't you know that a lot of our sportsmen have also started coming into a plant-based diet, and that doesn't affect their protein requirement? Then why do we question ours when we are not as athletic or as active in our lifestyle as compared to them? Some of us may have sedentary work, desk jobs. So what happens when you have desk jobs? Your protein requirements are also low. Remember, there is a problem with an overdose of protein as compared to what your body really requires. Children require protein. Adults also require protein. A lot of it if you have an active lifestyle. During your pregnancy also, because you are supporting a new life, you need active protein. But that may not be the case if you always have a sedentary lifestyle. Your protein requirements will considerably be low as compared to those having an active lifestyle. So don't just indulge into protein simply because it is a good thing to have. Understand the requirements of your body based on the lifestyle you have and accordingly shift your dietary choices. If you are sedentary, then green vegetables will help you, coconuts will help you, also fruits will help you. Other question as far as nutritional deficiencies is very, very common when it comes to B12. How does a plant life give me B12? I was always believing that B12 will come from meat sources, animal sources. If I shift to a plant-based diet, will it really help me in my B12 requirements? Because most of the people today are B12 deficient. Yes, it will. But you need to understand how. So what is B12? B12 is basically coming out of the bacteria in the environment around you. So when you take a lot of root vegetables, say for example carrot, when you pluck out a carrot from inside the soil, it will come out with some dirt on it, but it will also have a lot of microorganisms on it. Those microorganisms are going to give you B12. In its true essence, what is B12? B12, if I have to put in a very simple language, it is bacteria poop. So all of those bacteria which will go inside your body will create waste. Every living organism gives out waste. You and me give out waste, so do bacteria. That waste is actually B12 for you. So sweet potatoes will give B12, normal potatoes will give B12, carrots will give B12, radish will give B12. But remember, have them with the skin. Of course, you have to wash them extremely well, but that does not mean that every vegetable has to be peeled out. Today, a lot of fruits, etc., that you pluck straight from the tree, wash it a little and then consume it will give you ample B12. But the same fruits, if you remove it out and then it is waxed because the apple has to look shiny and it is put into certain chemicals because it has to look very attractive and the shelf life of that apple has to increase, then of course the B12 is depleted. So where should you source your fruits and vegetables from? You should source it from your local vendors, local grocery shops, and not necessarily from big supermarkets, because they look shiny and attractive is not always that they are most healthiest. But yes, there are some people who are extremely deficient in B12. So what should they do? Now you consume this plant-based diet for at least 3 to 4 months. See how your body reacts to it. And if you are not able to get the amount of B12 required by your body, then you may want to look an external supplement which is plant-based and natural. I hope this answers some of the questions that you may have as far as nutritional deficiencies are concerned. In the courses that I offer, over a period of time, we go through a number of details in terms of not just nutrition coming from your herbs and spices or your vegetables and fruits, but lot more into healing ourselves. How do we heal ourselves from specific diseased conditions? How to always remain in a state of well-being through nutrition, through yoga, through breathing, and through a whole lot of other ways. I hope this was helpful. The challenge for today is that you shall indulge into sprouts or any other form of natural protein on a regular basis if you have an active lifestyle. And if you have a non-active lifestyle, reduce the quantum of protein on a regular basis. You can go ahead with dals. I hope this was helpful. See you again in the next challenge. Namaste.